at the language we say externally, but it's equally important to examine the language that we have internally. And that's why whenever we have an opportunity to speak, I urge you to think about how your words are influencing how people think and how they speak to themselves. Because whenever you speak, it's a chance to make a difference in the recipient's mind. Since, like Ashraf said, this is my last opening speech as the president, and then I'll be an ordinary member, sleeping on the couch, eating popcorn, watching the meeting, just like the rest of you. I thought that before I leave, I have to leave with the most important tip. If they ask me, Amr, before you die, what do you want to tell all these aspiring speakers? What's the one most important thing that will pave the pathway to progress and make these people succeed? Maybe make them the next Martin Luther King. Maybe. So I've discussed this with the next president. Her name is Dina. Dina, could you show us your hand? Show a hand. Yeah, I think you darkened the room a little bit. You're trying to hide. So you're going to take the reins soon. And I've been discussing this most important thing that I'm going to leave you with. And that is the difference between mindset and technique. You see, when we learn anything, people always say, here's what you should do. You should not cross your arms because you're going to look defensive. You should maintain eye contact for 7 seconds with every person or every complete sentence. You should raise your pitch to show that you're surprised. Whoa, wow, you should do this and do that. These are all techniques. But the problem is many people practice techniques, but the mindset is not right. So even if they do all the techniques, it comes across as inauthentic. People don't believe it. It still doesn't look right. That's why you hear these people using the perfect body language, the perfect intonation, everything is great, but you just think, that sounds fake. I don't believe that. I can't connect with that. That's because there's one thing that should precede the technique, and that is the mindset. And to give you an example, I'll tell you a personal story when I tried to learn how to improve my charisma. So I bought a charisma course. It costed $600. If you think that's a high price, please show me thumbs up. If it's a low price, you can clap your hand. It is a high price, yes. And when the Corona thing came, my bank account, of course, the balance went to zero. Now the question is, was this course worth it or not? So I'll tell you some of the tips I learned, and hopefully through this story, I can illustrate the difference between mindset and technique. So when I started the course, I wanted charisma. And I was looking at all these different techniques. So when I share a technique, if you agree with the technique, you can clap. If you disagree, you can do nothing. That's fine. The first tip was to say jokes. Whenever you meet new people, say jokes. And before you meet new people, watch comedy shows, maybe Adil Imam, Al Kibrit, whatever it is, just to prime your mind to be humorous. And then when you sit with people, try to be more fun than everyone else in the room. If you agree with the tip, thumbs up. Okay, only Ashraf agrees. Sam agrees, perfect, perfect. Hani agrees, great. So that's one tip. So that's a technique, saying jokes and trying to be more fun than anyone else. Fine. The second technique is to build trust. And they say to build trust, you have to shake hands with everyone in the room. Shake hands, shake hands. And when you make a joke, you can touch someone lightly on the shoulder, like, and touch him on the shoulder like this. And you can lightly touch your knees together to show that you're close to each other. So this touching builds trust between people. Agree? If you agree, thumbs up. Okay, Ranya's doing halfway. Hani agrees with everything. That's great. Should always come to Toastmasters. Another thing to build vulnerability, they said, to build trust, is to show vulnerability. So tell people something that makes you look weak. Because if you tell them something that makes you look weak, something vulnerable, they say, they will think, oh, wow, this person is not afraid to show his weakness, we can trust this person. So for example, you can say, I still cry at night. Or I have a big kirsch, I want to lose weight. You can talk about yourself like this, show vulnerability, and this will make people like you because they say, wow, he's not worried about our opinion. He's sharing the truth, even if the truth is harmful to him. So he must be someone we can trust. So showing vulnerability builds trust. If you agree, thumbs up. Only 2 people agree. Well, so far my $600 went down the drain, huh? The third tip is how to build respect, and that is by sharing values. So for example, normally someone asks you, where are you from? You say, I'm from Egypt. What do you do? I'm an engineer. And that's it. The answers are done. They say to build respect, you cannot answer questions like this. You always have to answer questions by showing your values. So for example, when you ask me where I'm from, I could say I'm from Egypt, or I could say I grew up in Saudi Arabia, but there I wasn't free. Here in Egypt, I have a chance to be with the family, and it's also a bit more open. I hope to move in the future somewhere to Asia where I can practice my spirituality, and hopefully they have vegan food. And you know, the gaming community is big over there, so I'll find my niche. So I answered the question, where are you from? Not by stating the country and leaving it at that, but I also showed that I value freedom, and I'm a spiritual person, and I like gaming and having fun. So where are you from was a chance for me to showcase all these different values by giving this open-ended answer. If you agree with showing your values and how you answer questions, instead of just having limited answers, raise your hand or thumbs up. At least most people agree with that. Great. Now, we said there's a difference between mindset and techniques. All these techniques will be worth absolutely nothing if you learn them with the wrong mindset. Because when I went into this course, when I wanted to learn how to develop my charisma, at its root, what I wanted is people's approval. I was hungry for people to like me. I was hungry for their approval, and I feared their disapproval. And when you want people to like you, and when you want to make a good first impression, you make a bad first impression because you come across as desperate, and you come across as doing all these different things because you want something, not because it's you, not because it's who you are. So let's go backtrack a little bit. Fun, saying jokes. If you are not confident and not authentic, you will say jokes and you will be fun, but you'll always scan the room to see who's laughing. And if people don't laugh or take the joke well, you'll feel worried. Oh, they didn't laugh at my joke. I shouldn't have said that. And then you'll feel bad about yourself. If we talk about touching and showing vulnerability to build trust, I can show vulnerability in an exaggerated way. So I can start telling people out of the blue, I cried last night watching Titanic. Or my mother hit me with her slippers today. What's the purpose of sharing this? But you're sharing it inauthentically because you just want to, you learn that you have to show in vulnerability. So you just want to show it, and you show it exaggeratingly, inauthentically. So it doesn't build trust as it's supposed to. And showing values, you could keep talking and talking and talking to share your values. And in the end, people will say, why is he talking so much? Why is he sharing all this? Why is he so desperate to be liked? So you learned all these things so you can be charismatic. But because you learned all these charisma techniques to seek approval, and because you fear disapproval, even though they are charismatic techniques, they diminish your charisma and they do the absolute opposite. So the most important tip for public speakers, I think, is not to think about only should I cross my hands or not, How should I make eye contact? Should I speak like this or speak like this? Should I pause here or do this here? This micromanagement. Should I walk to the left? Should I walk to the right? Should I raise my voice here, lower it here? That's all good. But before all that, we have to think about, why are we speaking? Why are we in front of this audience? Is it so that they could like me and I get their approval? Or is it because I have a message? Is it because I want to perform and be a star? Or is it because I want to communicate something? So always think about your mindset, why you do what you do, and who you really are. And once you figure that out, you can worry about the technique. And I'll end with my favorite quote, which is not just relevant to exercise, physical exercise, but all types of exercise, including public speaking. Commit to be fit. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Hamid, for this profound speech. I think we all agree that we're going to miss his profound speeches and eloquent speeches. I believe that I said the exact same message like a couple of weeks ago, but I said it horribly, and he put it into better words and eloquent words. So thank you for that. We're definitely going to get you as a keynote speaker one day. Now, if you guys are wondering what happened to my eyeglasses, now right before the meeting, I was so bored that I decided to put my contacts on, and now I can't take them off. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I chose the road less traveled by. This is a very popular poem that talks about life choices. In this life, we make lots and lots of choices. Do I get that haircut? Do I buy this car? Do I enroll in this major? Do I accept this job? These are all things that we are inevitably going to choose one day. And that's why our theme for the day is life choices. And what did I want to say? Oh yeah, I was going to tell you that a monk called Gaur Gokal, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, give an analogy between life and a plane. He said that during a plane flight, there is the taking off, there's the journey itself, and there's the landing. The taking off, we don't really have a hand in it, do we? It's all in the hand of a pilot. We just sit and watch. And also the landing, we don't really have a hand in it either. It's beyond our control. Excuse me, my family is just good. So yeah, the landing, we don't have a hand in it, but then the journey itself, there are turbulences, and do we have a hand in that as well? No. But what we do have a hand in is what we can do during that flight. Some people choose to eat, others choose to socialize and make new friends, and other people choose to watch movies, and others would, I don't know what happens on a plane because I've never been on one, but you get the point. Today, we'll be diving into our life choices, and through the meeting, we'll talk you through two tips on how to choose a right decision, and hopefully they can help us in life. Now, allow me to share the agenda for today, and this is our meeting. Now, we started with and we have 3 segments. The first segment is prepared speakers. We have Mu'min Ali and his speeches, We Choose to Go to the Moon. Then we have Dina Abu Saif, our future president, and her speeches, Owning My Destiny. Then we go to the second segment, which is table topics, going to be conducted by Ghada Sharawi. Then we're going to take a break after table topics for 5 minutes, and we're going to come back and resume the evaluation segment with our respectful, oh, I can't say that word. It's really hard. I don't know how you say it, but we did it. Evaluation, our general evaluator is Yasmin Gupta, and she's going to take us through her tag team and evaluators as well. Hope that was clear. Now let's start with the first speaker, Mu'min Ali. But allow me first to introduce his evaluator. We have Hassan Dia. And wow, I need to do a lot of things. So I need to tell you what he thought of the theme. So Hassan, I asked him, would you choose the road, the taken road, or the road less traveled by? And he said, I'd rather choose the road less traveled because it would be less defined by fear, but more defined by passion, less defined by ego, but more defined by compassion. It would have more risks, but a much more exciting and meaningful experience of life. Let me unmute Hassan so he can talk us through Mu'min's project. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ala, for that introduction. Thank you so much. So today, Mu'min will do his speech, and the objective is to discover his leadership style. So Mu'min will discuss and will try to share his preferred style of leadership. And this is a journey. This is his first project, actually, in his pathway. And this is why he is still in the exploration phase. So this project today is like the start of a long journey of discovering his leadership skill. So good luck, Mu'min.
Thank you so much, Hassan. And now with Mu'min, when he was asked if he would choose the taken road or the road less traveled by, he said, I believe I usually take the taken road, because it ensures that it'll lead me to my destination. However, I think I take the road not taken because my mentality and my beliefs are different. Introduce the role players. Thank you, Alia, for reminding me. Totally forgot about that. So we're gonna have to introduce the tag team, right? All right, so please, Mr. Danny, I'm going to unmute you now, and he's our grammarian, so please.
Thank you, Hani. And now I'd like to introduce Alia, our timer, our counter, excuse me, and you're unmuted.
Hello, everyone. Oh my God, that was so loud. Great seeing you all here today. So I'll be your counter for this meeting. I'll be basically focusing and having my eyes and ears on prepared speakers, evaluators, and table topic speakers. I'll be watching you for your filler words. So anyone who keeps saying yani, I'm recording all that. And anyone who uses overused words like okay, so, like, and, but, or, and so on. And anyone who uses overused phrases like, for example, you know, this means. And if there are surprising, unnecessary long pauses besides having connection problems, then I'll also be watching out for that. Thank you. Looking forward to hearing all of your speeches. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you. So, jumping to Kareem Wahdan, our timer. Go ahead, Kareem, explain your role.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kareem. I'll be the timer for today's meeting. So my role as a timer is to efficiently and effectively help the speakers to manage their speeches. So I'll be doing so using 3 colors. I'll be raising my phone. So please, speakers, pin my screen to see the colors. So the green color signifies 1 minute for the table topics, 4 minutes for the icebreaker, 5 minutes for the project speeches, and 2 minutes for the evaluations. The yellow color signifies 1 minute 30 seconds for the table topics, 5 minutes for the icebreaker, 6 minutes for the project, and 2.5 minutes for the evaluations. The red color signifies 2 minutes for the table topics, 6 minutes for the icebreaker, 7 minutes for the project speeches, and 3 minutes for the evaluation. and each speaker has 30 seconds as a grace period over and down their limit for their qualification. Thank you so much and good luck for everyone.
Thank you so much, Kareem. And now let us all welcome our first prepared speaker. He is Mu'min Ali. His speech title is We Choose to Go to the Moon. We choose to go to the moon. Mu'min Ali.
It was the 12th of September 1962. The President of the United States of America, John F. Kennedy, he was addressing the nation in the Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas. In his speech, he gave the following words: "We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our skills and energies. Because that challenge is one we are willing to take, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the other things too." That speech would be recorded in history as one of the most influential, not just in the history of the United States of America, but in the history of the whole world. It was a speech that inspired the nation, that set history in motion. Yet, let us just stop and look for a moment and focus into the words in that speech. In his speech, John F. Kennedy wants to let America seek to go to the moon within just less than 7 years of his speech. Because that goal is hard and not easy. But here we have to ask ourselves, is that a proper reasoning? Is it a logical, persuasive statement to ask you to do something that was seemingly impossible at that moment, just because it was hard? But that is the magic of these visionary statements and those visionary leaders. Those leaders set the vision, and they give you the space for your imagination and your thoughts to fill in the blanks of what is behind these visions. The American population at that moment knew that they were in a Cold War with a very powerful enemy, an enemy that seemed to be winning at that moment, at least in the context of the space race. Few years ago, the Soviet Union have sent their first satellite into the outer space, beating the Americans. But not just that. After a few years, they sent Yuri Gagarin as the first human being into the outer space, beating the Americans for the second time. At that moment, the American population knew that to change all the effects of them being back behind in the race, they don't have to just beat the Russians. Yet they have to beat themselves. They have to challenge themselves to do something that they thought was impossible to them. Only that can heal their self-confidence and their national pride. However, John F. Kennedy didn't live to witness whether his nation was able to achieve that dream or not. Because in just 1 year and 10 days after his speech, he was assassinated. But again, this is the second magical point about these visionary leaders. Their visions live long after they are dead. It continues to inspire the people. Now, let us jump few years forward. We are seeing now a scene of a human being in a white suit putting his first steps on a foreign soil. That man, that human being, was Neil Armstrong, setting the first human step on the moon. But now we have to ask a question. What was the date? Did the Americans achieve the vision of John F. Kennedy? The date was the 21st of July, 1969, just less than 5 months before the end of the decade. It was at 2:56 a.m. UTC time. In his first step on the moon, Neil Armstrong gave us a visionary statement himself. One step for a man, one leap for humankind. That visionary statement was different from the visionary statement of his president. It was one describing the current moment, not of the future. However, that statement still had the same effect. It inspired thousands and millions of people to take their own steps and to make their own leaps. You see, these visions, and this vision in specific, like its predecessor, and like all the great visions of the great visionary leaders, they live. They live and keep inspiring us generation after generation. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mu'min, for your speech, and congratulations on achieving or finishing this level in your pathway. Now, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, which is our future president. She is Dina Abu Saif, but before that, allow me to introduce her evaluator. Her evaluator is Rania Leila, and when Rania was asked if she would choose the taken road or the road less taken, let's what? Rania, I can't split my attention, so you guys have to bear with me. So she gave a very brief answer. She said, the road less traveled by is quite nice. Which is a very cute answer. Now, Rania, your mic is muted. You're unmuted, so go ahead.
Thank you so much, Wala. And now, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I would like to advise you with 3 things to do. Number 1, focus. Then focus and focus again. You're about to hear very beautiful speech for a very beautiful coach, effective coach. You will listen to Dina Abu Saif and her first speech on first level, owning my destiny. I am sure that she is gonna nail it, and I'm very sure that you are gonna have a great time with her. Now, please help me welcome Dina Abu Saif. All the best, Dina.
Hello, thank you, Rania again. And when Dina was asked about the theme, she said, I'm an unconventional person, so I've always favored the road less traveled by. To me, this is the very road that'll challenge you to persevere in a way that would not be possible otherwise. Everybody, Dina's speech title is Owning My Destiny. Owning My Destiny, Dina Abu Saif.
Good evening, everyone. Rania, thank you so much for putting so much pressure on me right now. Okay, everybody, raise your hands if you were ever told that you talk too much. Okay, very few people. That makes me feel more of a loner. Thank you so much. As a child, I was constantly told that I talk too much by some of my closest friends and my most immediate family members. Now, as a child who loves to talk and who knew nothing about communication at the time, I automatically assumed that communication was a negative thing. So for the longest time, I would refrain from having conversations with people I did not know, fearing that they would tell me that I talk too much. But as I got older, I realized that communication was a beautiful thing. As an Egyptian American, I spent a significant portion of my life traveling back and forth between the United States and Egypt. And it is then that I realized that regardless of the differences, it is communication that brought people closer. It is communication that broke all the boundaries. So I decided to pursue communication on a more professional level by joining debate teams and by studying public speaking for 4 years. After I finished my undergraduate studies as a communications major, I decided it was time for me to head back to Egypt to pursue my graduate studies. After 2 beautiful, fruitful years studying sociology at the American University in Cairo, I was finally getting ready to graduate. 1 week before the graduation commencement, I received a very interesting call by one of my former professors. And she told me that the university was looking for a speaker to represent the graduating class of 2010. So I asked her when the deadline was, and she said that the deadline was tomorrow. I told her, are you kidding me? There is no way I can pull it off. There is no way I can possibly prepare a decent speech in less than 24 hours. So she said, Dina, you never know what you can do until you do it. So I decided to take on the challenge. I pulled an all-nighter. I woke up the next morning and I headed straight to the university. Of course, being the person that I naturally am, the chatterbox, while I was waiting outside, I had to have some conversations with some random people who were also applying for the position. The longer I spoke to people, the more I realized I did not stand a chance. I was there anyway, so when they called my name, I walked into the office, I presented my speech, and I walked straight out. We were told by the nominating committee that we would receive a call within the next 24 hours so we could get feedback on our presentations regardless of the outcome. So here I was 24 hours later, sitting anxiously in my living room waiting for that call. I received that call the next day and I was told, Dina, we're here to let you know that we really appreciated your efforts. It did not sound so promising. And we're here to let you know that it was a very close call. So I was like, uh-oh. And then they were like, so we would like you to know that congratulations, you were chosen to speak on behalf of the graduating class. I did not see this one coming. So they proceeded to tell me that they did not choose me merely based on the content of my speech, but that they chose me because they thought that I was raw and real. So ladies and gentlemen, if anybody ever told you at any point in time that you're doing too much of something that you're genuinely passionate about, don't let this demotivate you. Continue being raw and real. Continue being your authentic selves. Continue taking ownership of your destiny. And before I conclude, I would like to leave you off with a quote that has always inspired me and still does, especially when the going gets tough. Believe that you can, and you're halfway there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina, for this genuine speech. Definitely something that we can take lots of lessons from. Now, we are going to be waiting for the polls to come up. We will be choosing the best speaker for today, Dina and Mu'min. And please, Mr. Timer, we need 1 minute on the clock for the polls. And also, if you'd like to seize this opportunity to send them private feedback or public feedback, that would be fine as well. So is the minute over, Kareem? No? Yes, perfect. Oh, so you're unmuted. You're muted, sorry, yeah. Okay. Thank you everybody for your voting. And now we'll be saying the first tip into making or trying to make the right decision. Now, the first thing is we need to sort out what is important and valuable in our lives. So sit down and think of what you value most in your life, what you really love and what you're passionate about. So if you like working around animals, a high demand sales job wouldn't really be a good fit for you, isn't it? So try to sort out what you love in life, what you're passionate about, then think of how you could use this to choose a better decision. That was our first quick tip for today. And now I'm reminding everyone to try to use the word of the day, which is patience, into the next segment, which is the fun part, the table topic segment, where our guests and everyone else could speak from 1 to 2 minutes, and Ghada Sharo is going to give us more detail about this. So let me unmute Ghada. Da 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 da. Da, da. Oh, you're unmuted. Thank you. Perfect. Go ahead, Ghada.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, good evening. First, I would like to welcome you all at table topic part. As you know, table topic is about sharing your speeches without preparation. And it's actually a good chance to train your mind to use this skill, delivering speeches, impromptu speeches. But it's not only about speeches, it's about a lot of fun. You have a chance to share a lot about your life stories, lessons, life experience. You will be exposed to get different point of view. You will learn a lot from experiences from the people here. Table topic today is about wisdom. Wisdom in different areas of life. You can accept, you can refuse, you can be with or against, and your speech about the reflection in your life regarding this wisdom. You will volunteer yourself. You can text me on the chat box. And before starting, I'm inviting the timer to remind us with the rules of the given timing in this part.
All right, everyone. So for the table topic, impromptu speeches, we have the green card will be shown at the 1 minute marker. At 1 minute 30 seconds, you will be shown a yellow card, and at 2 minutes, you'll be shown a red card, and 30 minutes is the grace period. So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Karim. Now, are you ready? Okay. Who is ready for the first wisdom? Asma? I think I cannot.
Ghada, do you know how to unmute people?
I cannot.
I think I did it myself.
Okay, Asma, now you are ready? Are you ready now?
Okay, I talk about anything, right?
Yes. It's a reflection on your reflection on the wisdom. I will tell you about it now.
Okay. Actually, it's in my hands. It's a book that I'm reading while listening to you.
Oh.
Okay.
So the wisdom says, if you love someone, set him free. If he is back, it doesn't mean that he is yours, but maybe no one else needs him. Agree or disagree?
Actually, I totally agree with this statement. I don't know what to say. Okay. Brainstorming.
You can take few seconds to prepare your ideas and then start.
Could you please just say it again?
Okay. If you love someone, set him free. If he is back, it doesn't mean that he is yours. Maybe no one else needs him. I can put it in chatting box.
Yeah, please. You know, sometimes we face situations that you have nothing to do just to let that person go. And although you might at some point miss him or feel like you'd like to reconnect again. So if someone comes back to you after setting them free, that means they were interested enough to get back to you, and you meant something to them at some point, you know. That's why I agree with the statement, but not as nobody needs them, but if they want you, they'll come back, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Asma.
You're welcome. Hope that I said something useful.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Who is ready for the second wisdom? Ready? I don't see hands.
We have Ahmed Heikel.
Okay, Ahmed. I don't find Ahmed.
Yes, I'm unmuting him. So.
Okay. Hello, Ahmed?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay. The wisdom said, happiness is a choice, not a response. Agree or disagree? What is your reflection about that?
Good evening, everyone. Happiness is a choice. Well, for me, I believe that not only happiness, but all the emotions that you could have is a choice. No one should have the influence on you that he can choose what you should feel right now. Happiness is one of the things that I believe that if you are emotionally intelligent, that's one of the things that you need to initiate, create yourself. You don't wait for the happiness until it comes to you. You don't connect or associate the happiness with someone or with something. Once you lose this person or once you lose this something, you lose the happiness. I strongly believe that any emotions, it should be controlled by you. Maybe when I was young, I associated happiness with a lot of things and probably a lot of people. And then when they die or I lose them, then my happiness is gone. Then over the time, I started to realize that, oh no, happiness is not something that can be connected to anything. Happiness is something that I create myself, even in the deepest, saddest moment, is an emotion that I develop myself. I'm the one who have a control over my happiness, my sadness, my excitement, whatever. It's me and only me. To conclude, I would like to say to everyone, your emotion is something that you choose. And having any kind of emotion shouldn't be negative or positive. It's just an emotion. And you are the one who need to divert this to an action. You are the one who needs to put these emotions in an action where it can come back to you and impact on you in the positive way, in the manner that you only choose. So happiness is a choice. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. Thank you. أسماء عز الدين. I can't unmute people, so Walid, can you help me? أسماء عز الدين.
Yes, she's unmuted.
Okay, thank you. أسماء?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. So the wisdom says, if you must choose between two evils, pick the one you have never tried before.
Sir, could you repeat it again?
Yeah, sure. If you must choose between two evils, pick the one you have never tried before. I will put it in the chat box.
If I want to choose between two evils, yes, I would choose the one I had never tried before.
Asma, are you here? Hello? Okay, so I think we've lost Asma. So how about we choose another volunteer? We actually have lots of volunteers. So we have Ahmed Magdi. Would you like to have him, Ghada?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Ahmed. You're unmuted.
Sure, but actually, I just need to understand the question.
Okay.
So if you can elaborate more about the what you mean by two evils that I need to choose one.
Two hard ways. Two hard roads.
Two hard
roads.
Two hard talks.
Roads.
I'm sorry, I don't get it. It
if
sounds
you're choosing
accurate,
between two hard roads.
Roads.
Yes.
Two hard roads. And pursuing things that I need to have in my life. Is this what you mean?
Yeah. If you have two different roads, both of them are difficult.
Yes.
And you know one, and you don't anything about the other. You will choose the one you don't know.
So if I have two options, and the one option that I truly know everything about it, or I know how to do it, but the other option I know nothing about it. It depends on many things, I believe so. Firstly, the outcome, what I need, my why. What is my why? I was truly amazed by what Amr said at the beginning, that his speech about the mindset. The mindset, why I'm doing what I'm doing. If I'm doing it on the right purpose, of course, I will choose the difficult one or the ambiguous one. It doesn't matter. I believe that if I did some effort or research or whatsoever, I believe that I will get more information. It is some sort of a growth mindset. If you put yourself in a very difficult situation, you will learn more, your mind will grow. So it depends on the why itself. I would love again to recall what Amri said about if you truly believe what you're saying, not how people will perceive you, I believe that you will go through even in the difficult situations. That's it.
Thank you. Now we have Muhammad Aidid. Would you please, Walid, unmute him?
He's unmuted.
Okay. The wisdom say.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine.
Can you hear me?
Ready? Yeah, I'm hearing you very well.
Yes. Okay.
The wisdom says, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise.
Okay, it's to face everything and rise. Because you can't live with forgetting everything. You will leave many things accumulating over your head, over your back. So you must face everything. So after facing everything, you can choose after that whether you can forget about some things and deal with other things. So facing is the choice, and it mustn't be about facing and fighting. It must be about just knowing what you are dealing about. So if you are dealing with something that you are supposed to deal with, supposed to fight, supposed to know more about, so it's okay, it's worth it. But if it's something that is not worthy and you don't need it in your life, so it's okay to forget about it, but never to forget about something that you don't know. Okay, so I have 2 minutes or 1 minute?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Still have time.
Okay. Okay, yeah, in your life, you must know what you're dealing about. That's what it's all about. That's it. I think that's in a brief.
Perfect. Great. Okay. We have Mayar Sayed. Hello, Mayar.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Fine. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Never, ever give up unless there is something good on TV.
Wow, I love this quote. Well, let me share a very short story with you. 8 years ago, I had cancer, and I had to delay my PhD presentation for like 6 months because of that. And I had to take my chemo first. So I had two decisions to do. The first decision is to give up on my PhD presentation and PhD for forever, because I was diagnosed a very aggressive degree, and it was really a very dramatic situation. And the second choice was never give up and to choose that the last chemo session on that specific week, it was to set the date of my PhD dissertation presentation at the same week of my last chemo session. So I was given very negative actually vibes from everyone around me that this is really hard. Don't even think about that. Just focus on your medication and focus about your situation. Just think about the PhD afterwards, and everything is going to be fine after that. But something inside me said, never give up. You're strong. You can do it. And thank God I did it. And it was at the same week on my last chemo. And I believe it was the best challenge ever. So I always tell everyone, never give up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very impressive story. We have Mudet Shukla. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you well. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. When you truly don't care what anyone thinks of you, you had reached a dangerously awesome level of freedom.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Could you please repeat or probably text it?
When you truly don't care what anyone thinks of you, you have reached a dangerously awesome level of freedom.
Okay. So, sitting at my home and it's 3 months of lockdown, I think I have stopped caring about a lot of things. And I think this virus has sort of set me free. Have you ever been in a situation where there was so much pressure, there was so much expectations that after some point you say to yourself, that's it. I can't take it anymore. And my dear friends, that is freedom. You are free. You are a free bird from the expectations of the world. And this virus and the lockdown has done that for a lot of us. Sitting at our homes, we started exploring things in our lives which we never did. And that has led to us to explore our hobbies, our innate talents. And then we realized that maybe this was a kind of life we wanted. And all that was happening before the lockdown was kind of a drama that we were into because we never thought about it. So this pressure can always be taken two ways. Either you can break down or decide what you want to do in life. And this situation definitely has led a lot of us towards realizing what's really important. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hagar? Hagar, do you hear me?
Hi,
Hi, Hagar, how are you?
fine.
Okay, great. Are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay. The wisdom is, if you are lucky enough to be different, don't need ever to change.
Yes, I am agree. I think some people change for many reasons. People many change when they become rich or famous, and people many change to become like their friends or famous persons. You should be you, don't be another person. Be different and special with your thoughts and your principles. Others' ideas will not build your personality. There is no problem to get the good characteristics from others to improve your personality, but don't be other person. That's
Okay, Hagar, thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, and I have Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr, can you please unmute Abu Bakr?
So I'm asking to unmute him, but he's not accepting. So maybe you can choose another.
Okay. Who else is ready? Murad. Okay, Murad. Hello, Murad. You hear me now? Hello. Hello.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay.
Yes, I hear you well. Okay,
Cool.
the wisdom is where there is too much, something is missing.
When there is too much, something is missing.
Yeah.
When there is too much, something is missing. Yes, when there is too much of something, balance is missing. Believe that life in all aspects, whether it is work, whether it is family. And because we also mentioned happiness today, we are looking for balance. So too much of something would be another aspect of our life that is missing. Maybe we can sometimes have the wrong dimension that is at the center of our life. For example, if your work is the center of your life, you might dedicate all your life to work. So you excel in that. But it's too much work and not enough social life, not time, for example. So, for example, in this context, much of something means that something else is missing. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Murad.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we reached the end of table topic. Hope you enjoyed as I do. And back to you, Wala.
Thank you so much, Reda, and thanks for everybody that gave their first impromptu speeches. That was courageous, and congratulations for doing so. And that last quote reminded me of a book I read called The Time Machine. It's also a movie. I'm pretty sure everybody watched it. It talks about how when humans at year 800,000 and so they're going to have so much that they're going to be so stupid and afraid of darkness, and it's like a very weird story in the future by a time traveler. But it does say that when you have too much, something is really missing. So with that, we're going to take our 5-minute break. So please, Kareem, can we have it on the clock? And people, you're free to do whatever you want for 5 minutes.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. Polls, people, vote. I'm a horrible Toastmaster of the day. I know it. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. I know it. Dina, thanks. Thank you, Dina. Galal Zaki, you're giving us thumbs down throughout the entire meeting, and I don't know where you got that emoji from. Like, it's not even anywhere, and you're giving us thumbs down. If you can see you guys in the participants, he's giving us thumbs down. He's not even there. No, Murad, I'm just pretending. Murad is asking if I read all those books behind me. Okay, so time is up, right? So time is up, so we're gonna head to our 5-minute break and come back after 5 minutes. Perfect. Thank you, timer. And we are back, everybody. So show us your faces and your enthusiasm, definitely. We are going to talk about the second tip to make the right decision, or to just help you make the right decision. Now, it is to trust your instincts. Now, this says that think always of the first impressions. Your first impression towards any decision reveals your preference. And this doesn't mean you have to rush it and take just that one decision that you really like, but seeking so many information or so many opinions about that decision that you're about to make is going to hinder you back from actually taking it or making it. So what's helpful is that you focus on your perception of that decision. And this was actually a tip that was very helpful to me personally when I was about to enroll in college and I was confused between two majors or two departments. So I filmed myself talking about each department to my brother. And I filmed myself doing that and watched the video and saw how I was so excited talking about a certain department and just meh about talking the other department. And that's how I knew that I wanted to join that department. This is how I got into English department, you guys. Sad story, but no, you can do that and it's really helpful. So always trust yourself and trust your inner guts. Now we're going to introduce our Yasmina. Yasmin, she is our general evaluator and she's going to go to walk us through the tag team and the evaluators as well. So yes, go ahead, Yasmin.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'll be your general evaluator, and my role is basically giving general feedback about today's meeting. If I'm going to give myself the privilege of giving constructive feedback to everyone, then I also have the responsibility and the duty to see things through. I made a point of reaching out to everyone who had a role yesterday to kind of walk them through the roles and make sure that everything was okay. And I really want to commend them on such a job well done. But before we move on to the tag team and the evaluators, can we all just take a moment to please help me give a really big send off to the executive committee that was doing such an amazing job this past year, and help me also give a really warm welcome for the incoming committee for this year. They'll be starting July 1st. So thank you all very, very much. Thank you all. Okay, so we're going to start with Hassan Dia. He is going to be evaluating the very first speech. Hassan, when asked, he said he's a curious person who likes to experience everything new in life. I really liked how he was supportive in introducing his speaker, Mu'min, and I'm going to hand it over to Hassan, please.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mo'min, for that amazing speech. I really liked it a lot. I liked many things. Here is what I liked. I liked how you started the story with a story to grab the attention of the audience. That was really smart from you. And I also liked that you used small sentences that are easy to grasp, that are easy to understand, which makes it easier for the audience to grasp your main message of the speech. Okay. I also liked how you used questions, because questions are a very good way to keep the audience engaged with you, to keep the audience feeling that they are participating actively in the conversation with you. Because actually speaking with and saying questions makes a speech like a conversation more than just a normal speech. So that was very smart from you. I also so the main objective was discovering the leadership style that you admire, and you chose JF Kennedy, and it seems that you like the idea of leading by vision. I think this was your style of leadership that you really admire. So congratulations, you're starting to discover your leadership style. I think this might give you a way, an idea about which leadership style you can choose in your life. And I also liked the vivid language you used. For example, you said that there was a man wearing a white suit, and like it made me like imagine that image in my mind, and that was really interesting. And also your pace was very balanced. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't too slow. So your pace was really good. And I have a couple of points of improvement. Actually, it's one. So it's basically about maybe you could have used a stronger ending. You could have made your ending more stronger. Like for example, you could have changed your tonality at the end to emphasize the conclusion. You could have also slowed the pace down a little bit to also emphasize your main point and your conclusion. So that's it. This is the only point of improvement, and you really did a good job, Mu'min. So thank you, Mu'min, for this amazing speech.
Okay, and now we're going to move on to our second evaluator, Rania Leila, and she's going to be evaluating Dina. Over to you, Rania.
Thank you. Believe you can, and you are halfway there, right? Oh my God, that was really amazing, incredible, and powerful, lofty, and profound, Yadina. I'm running out of any descriptions, okay? So that's it. Thank you so much, and congratulations for finishing your first project, your icebreaker speech. I really liked how you inspired people, and this enthusiasm you just showed in your speech was truly effective and awesome. And now let's talk nitty-gritty. Your speech was very organized. You started from the intro, then the body, then ending with a powerful quote, as you just ended with. You started your presentation, your speech with this hook. And when you just ask your audience a question, and was very popular question that we all, including me, just raised our hands with a smile on our faces. That was really powerful from your side. So your organization of speech was awesome. And your body language. I like it so much how you maintain the eye contact with the lens of the camera, as if you were talking to all of us personally. And also you draw this beautiful smile on your face throughout your speech. I just suggest to show your hands, your like hand movement, to add more of effective or more of effective on your speech. But you just did a great job. Concerning the vocal variety, you showed a great vocal variety throughout your speech. However, your volume is high. You know, it's like ranking from higher to higher. So I suggest that if you lower your tone of voice a little bit and talk a little bit slower. I was running after you, trying to catch you. Okay. Yes. Concerning the interest, you were very clear about your topic, and you still emphasize your the importance of communication and how we should face our fears and believe that we can. Your speech was very inspiring, and thank you so much, and congratulations for your first project in your pathway. Thank you so much.
Okay, and next we'll be moving on to Karim Wahdan. He's the timer of the day, and he had one of the more challenging roles today in keeping everyone on time and I guess guiding our pace throughout the meeting. So we're going to hand it over to Karim. And when asked, he said that he joined the club back in February and is moving step by step towards his icebreaker speech. Please help me welcome Karim.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you for the intro. So I'll try to make this less boring as possible because we have a lot of people today. So Mu'min, your speech was in the safe zone. It was in 5 minutes and 57 seconds. So that's a green card. Dina, your speech was above 4 minutes by 32 seconds, or 4 minutes and 32 seconds, so it's yellow. Asma and table topics, your speech was for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ahmed Heikel, you had an amazing table topic speech. However, it went a little bit overboard by 30 seconds, so it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Ahmed Magdi, you had your impromptu speech at 1 minute and 18 seconds. Muhammad Adil, 1 minute 19 seconds. Mayor Sayed, 1 minute and 48 seconds, which is yellow. Mudid, you had it at 1 minute 37 seconds. Murad, 1 minute and 7 seconds, which is green. Hagar, 54 seconds. Hassan, you were almost red at Hassan Diha, 2 minutes and 57 seconds in your evaluation. And Rania, your evaluation was 2 minutes and 44 seconds, which was yellow. Thank you everyone for taking the time to do the speeches and the table topics, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Karim, for that. And now help me welcome Alia, and she's going to present us with the outcomes.
Thank you, Yasmin. A round of applause to all of you. Okay, so one random night, I turned on the TV and I found myself on the news channel, which I don't like watching at all. And then I saw this presenter talking about some news-related issue. And what attracted my attention was that most of his talk was literally and then when I turned the channel, or actually when I turned the TV off, what was clinging here in my head and repeating itself were those filler words. I had to watch something else just to forget about it. So this is the importance of trying to, as much as we can, reduce the use of filler words. We will take this in a light way. Okay, we're all learning. It doesn't matter how many filler words we have, all of us, but here's what I have on paper. Starting off with the prepared speakers, we had our first speaker, Mu'min. Big, fat, 0. Great job, Mu'min. Moving on to our second prepared speaker, Dina. I just noticed that you love the word so a little bit. So you had a 3 and above, so. And then moving on to the table topic segment, we had our first table topic speaker was Asma. And she had 2 us, 1 so, 1 you know. I don't know why I put that, but that was a bit mean of me. It's okay. Bit picky, no problem. 2 and your laughter, dear, was just amazing. You blew it all off. You know, sometimes laughter just releases stress. So I actually loved the fact that you just shook all of the stress away with your laughter. Keep it up. Moving on to our second table topic speaker, Ahmed Heikel. Big fat 0. Great job, and I loved your speech as well. Happiness is a choice. Ahmed Magdi, our third table topic speaker. He had 2 us, and 3 I. And it was like after each other, I. And then moving on to the fourth table topic speaker, we had Muhammad Adil. Again, you're Dina's twin. You love the word so. You had 5 so's, so long so's, and 4 us, and 3 okays. Our fifth table topic speaker, Mayar, had 5 us, and 3 ands, and. And speaking of that, You're a warrior, dear, and I'm just so happy that you got through this. So all my praises to you. Our sixth table topic speaker was Moody, Big Fat Zero. How good? 3 is and 1 Murad, 2 1 1 the longest okay, dear. Just kidding. And 2 is with a French accent. Love that. And then moving on to the evaluation segment. Lovely evaluations as well. Just the same way table topics was great and prepared speakers were great too. Hassan, you had 8 and 2 you know, and 4 and 2 likes, and 1 with a French accent, and 1 combo of you are. I don't know how that happened, but that was very musical, Hassan. Great job, everyone. And then Rania, Big Fat Zero. Now on to the tips of how we can reduce the use of those filler words. Simply, we can just pause and then continue. Or we can just breathe and continue. Or we can just move on to the next point. Sometimes we use those filler words because we forgot what we were going to say. Do the people in front of you know what you were going to say? No. So just move on to the next point, use a transition, moving on, and then move on. Or you can just learn to relax, take it easy, and just know that doing mistakes, doing filler words is just part of us being human, right? We're all humans, no one's perfect. A quick exercise that I want us all to do together now is called sphere breath, and this helps to improve this or reduce the use of those filler words. Of course, you're not going to do it in the middle of your speech. You could do it before that just to ease the stress and, take it more easy in a relaxed way. What you're going to do is, all of you now, okay? Do this with your hands. Create a small circle, a small sphere. Okay, it's called sphere breath. And then we're going to breathe in. When we breathe in, this sphere will expand like this. And then when we breathe out, this sphere will inflate like this. So let's do it together with breathing in and out, okay? No cheating. 1, you can close your eyes or not, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yoga position. You can take this as a metaphor of how you see life. Sometimes the thoughts in our mind expand problems way more than they deserve to have, or more than they're worth having. So basically, imagine this is your problem. Your thoughts, if they're negative, can make them this big. And your thoughts, if they're positive, can make them this small. Yeah? So let's try to take it easy and reduce those filler words. Great job, everyone. Back to you, our lovely GE.
Thank you very much, Alia. I really appreciate that. And we're moving on to Hani, he's our grammarian of the day, and he's going to give us his report as well.
Hello, everyone. You did a very good job, but I have maybe 2 points that I would like to share with you. First one is about the first speech for Mu'min. Just a small point regarding the word month. So you said months. It should be a plural. It should be months, not months. That's all. And Hagar, some small grammarian mistakes that you need to take care of. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Annie. I really appreciate that. And before we move on, we'd like to just pause for a minute and vote for our evaluators. Ashraf is going to go ahead and please put up the poll for the best evaluator. try to think back to Hassan Dia's evaluation of Mu'min and Rania Leila's evaluation of Dina at the top of the meeting. Please go ahead and vote. And Ashraf, just please give me a thumbs up, please, when we're ready to move on. Okay, thank you, Kareem. So thank you, I got, okay, thank you very much. So I'm now going to move on to my general evaluation of today's meeting. I'm going to keep this as painless and brief as possible. Starting off with Hassan, as I said, he was very supportive of Mu'min before presenting him. He also used the very famous sandwich technique in giving his feedback. And also, I noticed that he gave a lot of attention to detail, so that was really good with his. He was really good with his listening skills. Thank you very much for such a job well done, Hassan. Moving on to Rania. Rania, mashallah, has such a such an expressive face. I think we all notice that and enjoy it when she talks. She also uses very colorful adjectives. So that's definitely something that pulls you in when she gives her feedback. And also, she used a lot of technical points when giving her feedback to Dina, and that comes from a lot of experience she's gained across the years as a professional public speaker. Rania is going to be our incoming VP of membership. Thank you very much, Rania, for such a job well done in evaluating Dina. Moving on, so those were the evaluators for today. Moving on to the tag team, we had Kareem. He was very innovative in using the app for the Toastmasters timing. He was also very well prepared. He had a backup plan where at some point he put aside the app and he started using colored objects to get across the timing session. So I really appreciate how he was able to deal with the technical difficulties in a very smooth sense. And he did something at the top of the meeting as well, where he grouped the timings by color and not by talking style. So that's something that was new, I guess, that I noticed he did as well. Moving on to lovely Alia. She's a very animated talker, mashallah, that we all enjoyed listening to very much. Thank you, Alia, for making sure to give us tips at the end so that we can apply them next time. And also, she gave very comprehensive points in what to look for at the top of the meeting as well. When she was saying she would look for this, this, and that, those were very comprehensive points, and she made us all tune in with her as well in listening to those across everyone's speeches. Ali is going to be our incoming VP of Education as well, so thank you, Alia, very much for your role tonight, and we're looking forward to everything you're going to bring throughout the coming year, inshallah. Hani, our grammarian, he was very patient himself with people using the word of the day. This is always a challenge for online meetings. He gave a very crisp presentation at the beginning of the meeting as to his role. I want to personally thank Kenny because he kind of stepped in last minute. That was very responsible of him and very reliable in today's meeting in fulfilling that role on a very last minute. I'm almost done here wrapping up. I just want to thank Ashraf Ahmed, a special thank you to him. Today we had 50 attendees, and that's a really good turnout for an online meeting. And this is a culmination of his efforts throughout the past many months since we've converted to online meetings. And he was also our tech savvy member, an executive committee member, where today we're doing our very first YouTube streaming thanks to him. So thank you very much, Ashraf, for that. Other than that, just very generally for our table topics, Master Reda, our lovely Reda, she was very clear in explaining the instructions and also expectations of the table topics segment. So thank you for that, Reda. I personally really admire how you are very calm and composed, and that you carried that throughout. Despite some hiccups here and there, you were able to hold on to that. So that was really nice. And I don't want to miss out on saying how Ahmed Magdi and Murad, they use their impromptu speeches in their time to tie it into things that other people had said before them. So that takes a lot of thinking on your feet. And that's a very commendable thing that they did. Great job there. And last but definitely not least, we have Wala, Toastmaster of the Day, and she will be our incoming VP of Public Relations. She reminded everyone of the word of the day in the middle of the meeting. Not everyone takes the moment to do that, so thank you very much for that, Wala. It was very thoughtful of you to do that. Otherwise, we all enjoy very much when you're Toastmaster of the Day. Never a dull moment with you. Thank you, Wala, very much. Turning this on back to you.
Thank you, Yasmin, for this thorough evaluation, and thanks for all evaluators and role players. And now we're coming to the end of the meeting where we reflect back on the theme of the day, which is life choices. We talked about sorting out what is important in our lives and what we care about. And we talked about trusting our instincts and trusting our own inner voices and not seeking so many opinions because that's confusing sometimes. And these are only 2 tips out of millions of others that would help us make the right decision. I'd like to congratulate all of you because you chose to spend 2 hours of your lives tonight in this meeting doing something beneficial, learning, expanding your horizons, and meeting new people from different cultures. So that was great that you took it upon yourself to make this life decision or life choice. And I look forward to having you again in our meetings. Now we're going to head back to Ashraf Ahmad, who's going to first tell us the winners, and second, separate us into breakout rooms. So over to you, Ashraf.
Hi. Are you guys still awake? No? Yes?
We are.
You want to go to sleep? Yes? Okay. All right. So we had a lot of excellent segments today. I will share my screen and we will see who won the Best Speaker Award, who won the Best Table Topics Award, and who won the Best Evaluator Award. You guys see my screen? You guys want to play a video game? I have this Oculus Rift. I really want to play with you guys, but fortunately, you are not here with me right now. All right, I'll actually play it right after this meeting. All right, so the Best Speaker Award goes to... I do not hear any drum rolls. You better drum roll, man. Drum roll, please. Drum rolls. Okay, I'm gonna assume that I'm hearing drum rolls. And the Best Speaker Award goes to Dina Abu Saif. Congratulations, Dina. This is her first speech, but obviously it is not her first speech. She did an excellent, excellent job, and I wish her all the best. I will send you this later. The Best Table Topics Award. The Best Table Topics
Don't you hear my
Award.
drum rolls?
No, I do not. I do not hear fake. I do not acknowledge fake drum rolls, Yawale. So please stop doing that. Thank you so much. The Best Table Topics Award goes to Mayar Sayed. Mayar is she's the one who talked about the PhD that she made, and while she did it while she was having troubles with cancer, which is incredible. How can anyone focus on anything other than cancer while doing this is beyond me. This is something supernatural. Well job, Mayar. Please contact me after this meeting. I don't know how. Just do it and I will send you the certificate. The Best Evaluator
We'll be
Award.
uploading them on the page.
Wala, please stop. Anyway.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop
Okay.
talking.
Thank you so much. All right. The best, the best evaluator award goes to. Why is it not going to? There it is. Rania Leela. Congratulations, Rania. Excellent, excellent job as always. And now we have finished this part of the voting. Now we will go to the breakout rooms where people can socialize and meet each other outside of Toastmasters. This is like the social area that you can have even though that we do not meet in public. So we will separate into different breakout rooms right now. I will, yes, we will split into 4 people per room. So we will do this currently. We will start it now. Oh, by the way, the meeting is over. If you guys want to leave, that is totally fine. If you are tired or whatever, that is totally okay. We will do this in. Bye, Amr. Bye, bye. Go ahead. Bye, Dina. Bye, Yasmin. Bye. Okay, am I gonna do this alone? That is fine. Do not mind. Bye, bye. Go away. I do not want you at here. All right, we will begin. We will begin. Okay, stop leaving, please. I want to. There you go. We'll start it now. واو، الناس كلها زهقت ومشيت. unmute all بقى. Unmute all, unmute all. نعمل unmute.
ادخل الروم اعمل ايه؟
بتخش في روم فيها ناس مختلفة وممكن تتعرف عليهم وتتكلم معاهم وتشوف ده بيعمل ايه وده بيعمل ايه وده هنا ليه وده هنا ليه، حاجات زي كده.
اوكي، ثانك يو، شكرا يا استاذ اشرف يا جميل يعني.
على ايه يا قطع؟
انت كده انت لايف على اليوتيوب صح؟
احنا لايف على اليوتيوب. هنقفله بقى.
انا